Since the Slenderman creepypasta was released, it has garnered a lot of attention with books, video games, and major motion pictures. But in 2014, in the town of Waukesha, Wisconsin, things went a little too far when two 12-year-old girls lured their friend into the woods and stabbed her 19 times. Tried as adults, Anissa Wire and Morgan Geyser were both found not guilty in the stabbing of Peyton Leutner by reasons of insanity. The 12-year-old girl ultimately survived the attack. Geyser, being the main architect of the stabbing, was charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide and sentenced to 40 years to life in a mental health institution. Wire was charged with attempted second-degree intentional homicide and received 25 years to life in an institute. Wire made a full recovery as she was not as sick as Geyser and was released after 7 years in 2021. Geyser still remains in the clinic to this day. She was a very sick child growing up, with wild hallucinations, ghosts, melting walls, and imaginary friends. There was one creature she called It, which was an entity with the color of smoke and ink and stood behind mirrors or behind wall corners. This creature is what doctors agreed she believed was Slenderman. The slashing took place in Davids Park, a wooded area near the town both girls grew up in. Geyser concocted the plan to sacrifice Peyton Leutner to appear the entity of Slenderman, a very real malevolent energy to Geyser's unhealthy mind. Wire was ultimately recruited by the girl, and a plan was set into motion. They lured their friend to the park where they decided to play the game of hide and seek. Geyser then pinned Leutner down and stabbed her 19 times in the arms, legs, and torso. The 5-inch blade missed her heart by a centimeter and went through her diaphragm, cutting into her stomach and liver. The girls told Leutner to lie down and that they were going to go find help. They never returned, and Leutner eventually dragged herself to the road, where nearby cyclists found her and called the police. 5 hours later, the girls were picked up at an interstate, apparently on a trip to Slender Mansion, some 100 miles away in the Nicolet National Forest. In the girls' bags, the knife was found, and both girls were then brought in. Leutner spent 6 days in the hospital and then was cleared and released. Not much is known about what was going through Geyser's head, except that she suffered from extreme schizophrenia and hallucinations. She was regarded as having no remorse for the attempted murder, and at the hospital she was diagnosed with early onset childhood schizophrenia. She was left without treatment for 19 months, with authorities more worried about getting her cleared to stand trial than psychiatric treatment. After her sentencing, she was transported to Winnebago Mental Health Institution, where she now still resides. In 2020, her appeal to be retried as a juvenile was denied. Wire is now a functioning member of society with some restrictions as being monitored until she is 37 and not allowed to leave the state. She is forced to take medication and is now living with her father. The victim, Peyton Leutner, is now living a normal life, not letting the past and trauma of the incident hold her back.